Hello, lovely humans of Earth. Miles Jupp on the Comedy Roadshow, but it looks exactly like the backdrop of when it's live at the Apollo. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Also, from this frame, Miles Jupp looks extremely tall. I guess that's Michael McIntyre. I'm not totally sure, but that's who it looks like. And I don't know how tall he is, but he's taller, so... Oh, you guys. I hate pointing, and you guys have it right here. I got it in front of me. Whatever. He just looks tall. Anyway, I've seen Miles. I've seen him on Kesta's countdowns a few times. Or clips. I don't know. I've seen him on Wilt. And this guy's funny. I like this guy. So I figured, ooh, stand-up. That could be interesting. So here we are. Ta-da! Anyway, let's see. Let's see what he has to offer. Is he merely a funny panel show comedian? Or does he have what it takes to do stand-up and actually hold a crowd? Let's find out. I imagine you guys know, but I don't. So I'll find out. Let me find out. Let's do this. I don't know.
Gosh. Good evening. Good evening, Blackpool. Yeah. It's not bad at all, is it, Blackpool? I'm surprised more people don't know about it. Anyway, my name is Miles Jupp, and I'm privileged not just to be here, but in general. I really am very lucky indeed. No point pretending otherwise. It's good to be somewhere sophisticated, such as Blackpool. No, it is. I've had an extraordinary run of weird, nerve-wracking gigs recently. I did a gig in Glasgow for a bunch of offshore oil workers who were onshore for one day and were, in fact, expecting to see a stripper.
That must have went well.
Yeah, that actually went quite well. Oh, thank heaven for these pre-Raphaelite curves. Had to absolutely work my arse off, but we all went home happy.
There you go.
It's extraordinary. You do gig in extraordinary places. I did a gig at the beginning of this year in a little village on the south coast of England, a little village hall. A village hall is absolutely the worst place to even attempt this sort of entertainment. It's a little tiny stuck-up village. Everybody knows each other. But everything about this gig was weird. If I could describe the inhabitants of this village in one word, it would be wrong. I got picked up by this lady. She took me to the gig, right? She collected me from Winchester train station, right? We're driving to the gig, and she was going, "Oh, it's very good of you to come down and do this." I was saying, "Oh, it's no problem at all." She said, "They're a lovely audience." I said, "Yeah, tell me about the villagers. What are they like?" She said, "Oh, well, the youngest is about 45, something like that." "What about the oldest? About 85, 90? Yeah, pretty laid-back bunch. I think you're going to like them." Oh, gosh, they do sound, if you don't mind me saying, madam, they do sound a little bit on the older side. That being the case, is there anything that I'm not allowed to talk about? So what do you mean? I said, "Is there anything I'm not allowed to say?" I said, "Oh, no, you can say what you like. There won't be any ethnics there." That is absolutely not what I meant by the question. Anyway, I did their racist gig, right? 2 weeks later, I received a handwritten letter of complaint from a member of the audience, a prominent member of the Women's Institute, she told me, claiming that she thought there was too much bad language in my performance. What sort of village is that, where the moral high ground is occupied by the racists who don't like swearing? It's just pedantic behaviour, isn't it? A member of the WI writing a letter like that. I mean, I thought Calendar Girls was shit. I didn't write a letter to anybody. Just blame myself for going.
There you go.
I think what happened, basically, the lady, she heard the way that I speak, properly. And, no offence, obviously, Blackpool. Seriously, though, listen to yourselves. She heard the way that I speak and assumed that she could judge my politics and my outlook. That is very much the curse of this accent. A lot of people hear the way I speak and assume that I must be a homosexual. Don't know what the logic is there. I don't know if they think I've had to learn to enunciate clearly with a mouthful of other gentlemen.
Oh! Dude, that's actually the first... No. God, no. That's not what I meant. I was going to say, that's actually the first thing I thought, but not what he just said. I was thinking of, wow, this guy really unlike me, really pronunciates every little syllable and every letter and everything just very properly, and just even comes out sounding all posh and stuff, but it's all there. all the letters are there. Yeah.
It's not the way I'd choose to speak. Obviously, nobody would choose to speak like this. I'd much rather have any sort of accent. I'd much rather have a Scottish accent and sound whimsical and tough, or an Irish accent and not have to write any material. The reason I speak like this simply is because this is the way that my parents speak. That's the way it works, isn't it? You do tend to inherit the accent of your forebears, which is why a lot of working class people seem to be incoherent. Because their parents were drunks.
I like the way he looks around.
I am joking, obviously, when I talk about the working classes. I must be. I haven't met one. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Absolutely no idea, yeah. Statistically, some of them must be smashing. It may surprise you to hear, Blackpool, that I encounter quite a lot of street aggression. I can't imagine what it might be about me. I was in Hull recently. On my way back from a show, I got mugged by a young man. He attacked me with a knife. Don't know why he thought a knife was necessary. His accent was bloody terrifying.
Dude, I just saw this today, so I gotta talk about it. But he reminded me with the knife. At least inside Argentina, it's famously known how bad and stupid, basically, reporters are here. Like, the stuff that gets on the news, especially when they're out there interviewing, like, the public, the stuff that, most of it's live, but just the stuff that comes out of that is just wow bad, right? And they're constantly trying to, pick a fight and grab people that look like a certain way, and they try to ask them questions, and they end up just looking horrible because the person they talked to are completely informed about something when they were trying to make them look like an idiot. And it's just a mess. Like, it's bad. And today I saw a video from the news of a lady that was outside a hospital. I do not remember why. I don't know. It had to do with the storm where people died or what happened, but she was outside of the hospital, outside of like the main door. And there were two men there, and she went to interview them. And she asked why they were there. And the guy says, "We are here because my sister got stabbed, so we're waiting for her." And the reporter asked, "Oh, really? So was it an emergency, or did you have an appointment?" What? Like, excuse, what kind of question is that? And the guy looked at her like, "Are you seriously?" And he's like, no, it's an emergency. Like, we didn't plan her getting stabbed. We didn't know this was going to happen, woman. I look like this because he was sitting down looking up at her. But it just, wow. That's the quality of news reporters we have here. So, just, wow.
Incredibly awkward when you're involved in a confrontation of this sort. You have to spend the whole time going, "I'm terribly sorry, young man. I really can't understand a word. Really can't understand a word. I hope it's not directions. I'm simply not from round here." What then? Oh, come on, you funny little fellow. Project! Use the diaphragm. There we are. Yeah. Turned out he was saying, "Give me your money."
Oh.
Said, "What, all of it?" "Most of it's tied up in land."
Dude, how snobby did that sound? That was great.
"Most of it's tied up in land." Paperwork's going to be an absolute nightmare. Ended up writing him a cheque. Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult time, isn't it, for people? It's a difficult time. People are very touchy about things, aren't they? There's a recession on, isn't there? Which must be terrible for the people involved. I think the recession's great. Have you seen how cheap shit is? Yeah. Actually, fantastic. I bought a DVD of Time Cop the other day for £1. Yeah. Not even going to watch it.
There you go.
It's a very strange business, isn't the recession? As soon as it happened, people were desperate to blame someone. A lot of people said, "Oh, it's the fault of the bankers." I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's how it works. I think if anyone is to blame for the recession that we're experiencing in the UK, it was the television news telling us that there was going to be a recession, and us all just sort of obediently going along with it. Do you know what I mean? Out of a desperate desire not to embarrass the BBC or something. remember very clearly about 9 months ago, the newsreader at lunchtime suddenly going, "Everybody's panicking!" Thought, are they? I seem to be having a bit of toast in my pyjamas. Gosh, how serious is this? Will I need slippers? Blackpool, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. God bless. Good night. Thank you.
That was great.
Well done, Juppy. Brilliant. Mark Jupp, ladies
It was.
and gentlemen, we love Mark Jupp!
Michael's happy. That was great. I never noticed, I guess, his poshness or his... I never noticed he enunciated so much or just talked that way because I don't know. I don't know if he exaggerated. Dude, I can't speak. There are days where I just cannot speak. There are also days where I just drop and bump into everything. I had one of those yesterday. It was embarrassing because I was with a friend and I just dropped everything. And today is one of those where I cannot speak, and it's bad when I'm talking about speaking well. It just makes me feel stupider. But I also forgot what I was saying, so just screw it, whatever. I didn't realize that. I've seen him on Wilty, I've seen him on other stuff, and that's what I was saying. I don't know if he's exaggerating it for the bit, or it's just... I don't know. I don't know how I didn't notice that before, because I've noticed ever since I've watched Friends a bajillion times, but ever since the first time I saw Friends, there's an episode where they're all just kind of making fun of each other, and they start making fun of Ross of how he pronounces everything correctly, and they just start making fun of it, and it is it, and just all that kind of stuff. And after that I've always paid attention to how people speak, and if anybody does speak like Ross, and this guy does. So anyway, lesson here is, if you ever get stabbed in Argentina, make sure you have an appointment first, because otherwise you're just, you're going to end up waiting a long time in the emergency room. Gotta plan ahead, people. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me. I am off. Thank you for watching. You guys are marvelous. And, yeah. Toodles.